All right, next let's kick it on down to Lexington real quick where, I want to do a little bit deeper dive on this game once we got the Tennessee homer on the line because I know he's dying to talk about it. But this is a very, very important game for the Kentucky Wildcats. Tennessee is one that is always in their head. I don't care what they say. And I know the fans, Tennessee fans, think they own Kentucky. It's because they do. And I know last season, of course, the Wildcats got the big win here, 34-7. Jarrett Garantano still throwing interceptions in that game through 2 pick sixes. What was it, Harrison Bailey, I think, or J.T. Strout came off the bench. They threw interceptions. I mean, it was just a shit show for the Vols. And that was the game that large percentage of the fan base turned on Jeremy Pruitt. But, I mean, outside of, I'll tell you this. If Hendon Hooker throws 2 pick sixes, Kentucky's going to win again. But that seems highly unlikely because I don't know that I've ever seen that before. And it's, Kentucky's defense just got shredded by Mississippi State through the year. So there are concerns, I would say, for sure, that Kentucky, they always tout it as this is a different Kentucky, is a new era. We're doing well on the recruiting trail, which they are. But, they lost to Georgia. They tried to change up their routine. The Mississippi State streak lives on, the losing in Starkville. They changed up. They usually don't stay in Starkville. I think they got there early. They stayed in Starkville. They were trying something new, and it blew up in their face just the same. So, I mean, I think there's a little bit of a sense of, here we go again. And, again, Tennessee is a team that is always in Kentucky's head. Look at interesting series here, I should say. Like I said, last year, Tennessee was favored by 6.5. Kentucky blew them out. The year prior, in Lexington, Kentucky was the favorite. 1.5 point favorite. Tennessee won outright by 4. 2018, Tennessee was the underdog by 5, believe it or not. Tennessee won 24-7, blew them out. 2017, at Lexington, again, Kentucky was a 4-point favorite. Tennessee won 29-26. So there's been games in this series where Kentucky was favored and they didn't get it done in recent history, and that's got to be in the back of the mind of the coaching staff and some of these players. And I don't know if you're going to get that. And I don't know. It's interesting how that'll play for Tennessee because a lot of Tennessee, like Josh Heupel and his coaching staff, like Hendon Hooker, Javonte Payton, Tyon Evans, I mean, the list goes on and on, all their transfers, they are not a part of this series. So, we'll see if they're in the heads of Kentucky or not. But don't forget, there's a little bit of a revenge factor potentially for Hendon Hooker. And it made me realize, Tennessee fans, if you missed it, go back and watch that 2019 Belk Bowl. I know Kentucky fans know it well. One hell of a game. Came down to the wire. Hendon Hooker was the starting quarterback for Virginia Tech. This was the game Lynn Bowden ran for 223 yards through the game-winning touchdown. But Hendon Hooker looked good in that one, scored a couple touchdowns. There was a fight pregame. There was a fight apparently the day before the game at some event. I mean, this was a bad blood in this bowl game, more than you see generally in these types of bowl games. But will there be any kind of residual effect there from Hendon Hooker? Maybe this one's personal for him. So those are two things Mark Stoops kind of hit on the fact that he got kind of bothered, I think, by the question that maybe his team, are they fraudulent? Are they going downhill? He didn't really appreciate that. I wouldn't give much away on the injuries. And then he was asked about Hendon Hooker a little bit here, but that just kind of sparked my memory from that Belk Bowl. What a great game that was.
Would you say this is nothing more than just a hiccup as opposed to choking?
I don't understand the question at all. Is it what?
Would you say this is more of a hiccup than as opposed to you guys choking? A lot of people say you're choking down the stretch.
That's your word. That's your words or their words. I have no control over what anybody calls the way we play. I could control the way we do. What we talk in our locker room. So, we got beat by a pretty damn impressive team in Georgia, and played like crap this past week. There's no other way to describe it. So y'all could put on it anyway. You could call it anything you really want. For us, it's about getting back to work.
Jordan Wright and Dare both went down. What's the status on those two guys?
We'll see.
Is Marquand any closer to getting back.
We'll see.
Looks like De'Aaron Jackson was dressed. Is he available?
We'll see. I mean, nobody's given me a scouting report on injuries. You know what I mean? I can't. I mean, we'll see as the week goes on. It's Monday. I haven't even seen these players yet today, so I'm not trying to be a prick about it. It's just, who knows? Who knows whether they're available or not or whatever. I mean, De'Eric's getting closer. Not quite ready last week. Yeah.
All right, so I mean, hey, I think you see it kind of there. I mean, this is such an important game for Kentucky. Hell, if they drop this one, there all of a sudden Tennessee jumps them in the standings. Now, that's unlikely to last very long if it even happens, because Tennessee's got to play Georgia the following week, so Kentucky can skip them right back. But I don't know, after so much promise, hell, these Kentucky fans, a lot of them thought maybe they were destined for Atlanta, New Year's Six Bowl, all this type of stuff. Here suddenly they could be looking at a third straight loss. Tennessee is it's basically like what Florida is to Tennessee is basically what Tennessee is to Kentucky. I mean, they are the Freddy Krueger in their nightmares. And I know Kentucky fans are going to be confident going into this one. They're playing at home. They're undefeated at home. They're getting them at night. It is going to be a scene up there. But I'm just saying, I mean, this is one where the favorite is not always the team that wins in this series. It should be one hell of a game here in Lexington Saturday night. But hey, that's all I got on this episode. Got a couple guests lined up for the rest of the week. Should be one hell of a week here for the show. Cousin Shane will be back on the next edition. But that's going to do it. Catch you on the next one.